Howdy, ladies and gentlemen. Your 2025 Texas A&M Aggies are 9-0 for the first time since '92. I think that deserves a celebration. Please join me. A little bit of maroon Kool-Aid, the special kind. 9-0 tastes real good. Tastes real good. Something I've never really tasted before. I haven't. No, I haven't. I've never tasted it. '92, I was 10 years old. I didn't know what A&M was at that time. Some people think it's '94, just by the way. '94, it wasn't that. We had a tie that game that year to SMU after seven wins, or maybe it was 8 wins. I think it was seven. So it wasn't really 9-0 that year. It was '92. Big year. I wish I could go back there and be part of that year. Amazing. Now here we are in 2025, and we're getting to kind of relive that. And I hope it continues the same way that season did. Honestly, maybe except for the bowl game that year against Notre Dame, but this is a great season, y'all. This is a great season. I am just soaking it up. What I want to say and want to talk about this team when it comes to where we are is, then this is the question I've got. I think I've got an idea of who this team is, and now I'm taking the next four games to figure out what this team is made of. I think that's the picture that's being revealed, curtains being pulled back. We're about to find out exactly what this team's made of. Okay, I've got some ideas. This is what I'll say on it so far. I think what you do is you take a little bit of kick ass, yeah. You mix that with some nails. You put it in a forge, and then you bang it out on an anvil until it looks like, and then fill in the blank. And that's what we're doing. We're going to fill in the blank to see exactly what that looks like. We know who this team is. So let's talk about what they do well and what they don't do well. Okay, that's what we know what this team is. We don't stop the run very well. We're going to have to shore that up. Although, I will say, we don't tend to give up a whole lot of big scores. I mean, Ahmad Hardy had the one, but it's in garbage time. I'm not that concerned about it, but I don't like it. The other runs during the game, they tend to come when we've got too high safeties. We just don't get up in the box quick enough. There's some numbers issues going on there. That's something we can look at later. I don't like it. It's something that's probably going to persist because who we are is usually something that doesn't change, not after 8, 9 games. So that's who we are. We have a hell of a defensive line. We have solid cornerbacks, solid secondary in general. We got a quarterback that's probably a B plus guy right now, high end, flashes in the A's at times, and does a really good job of managing the game. We have a deep running back room. We have a very, very physical offensive line. Lastly, wide receivers. We have probably the most talented group we've got. I think wide receivers most talented group we've got. So that's who we are. We are tough as nails. That's who we are. When you take that and you start to forge it, what's it going to look like? I've got this idea. I just like to use imagery on this stuff to kind of get my point across. Right now, it feels like, and I feel confident that we at least, like, if you take the Mafia for a second, I'm going with this theme because that video that the football team put out before the game, walking into the house with Will Lee, pulling back the covers, it was just so Godfatherish, like the horse head in the bed, and then there was the white helmet, which it was the uniform reveal, but it had some undertones going on. It feels very Mafia-ish right now, and so every mob boss has got a strong arm somewhere. They need to collect some money. They need to, get that, and they call up the strong arm. And they say, "Hey, I need, you know, Tommy Two Toes owes me $10,000 cash. He's 2 weeks late. Go give him a warning." And then so they call us up. We're the enforcer. We're the strong arm, and we go collect, give the warning, whatever it needs to be, right? So I feel confident that we are at least that person in this idea, right? But we don't want to be that person, right? We're maybe trying to figure out, like, are we actually the mob boss, perhaps. What's the transition going to look like from this to that, right? We've got a few more games to go, and we're going to find out whether or not we can actually be that mob boss. We're going to go play South Carolina next week. Gonna get them at home. It's going to be a revenge game. I got good vibes about that, but that's still a game. It's no guarantee. Samford after that, then we're going to go to Texas, right? This is going to finish up in fine fashion. We got to take it game by game, week by week. Totally get that. And each time we go and play, that hammer is banging this team into something that is strong. Is it made of brass? Is it made of hardened steel? What is that? What is that? It's definitely something that's hard. I mean, this team is as physical as they come. That is for sure. Let's run through a couple things with this game just to show exactly how hard this team is. I mean, Marcel Reed, 221 yards through the air, 7.6 yards again on average, 2 TDs, right? Gave up, he came in clutch with a few big runs, and he's 20 of 29. I mean, golly. So he's somewhere north of 66%. You can't ask for more out of that guy. I think tonight we definitely saw him flash into the A range. I mean, I said on average, he's kind of a B plus kind of guy, which is great, but he's got flashes in the A's. A minus tonight from this guy for sure. For sure. 20 out of 29. What can we do? I think we see a few things happen and we're like, I don't like that play. I wish he would have done something different. Like, maybe turn up field on that one where he was about a yard or two short of the first down, being a little bit more aware. But, some of those things we're getting trade offs on. I had one prediction that we were going to go all season with the same quarterback, and that's still in play, thankfully. I'm willing to trade having the same quarterback all season long for a couple of those plays throughout. But there will come a time, depending on how far this goes, that's probably gonna have to change, and he'll have to turn that on exactly at the right time. Ruben Owens, big game from Ruben Owens, big game from a lot of these running backs, to be honest. And I'm a little shocked. I'm gonna switch down to EJ Smith real quick. He only had 24 yards. He did get a TD, which I really like. I really like that because the way this guy plays, the short yardages that he's getting us are huge. That 24 yards in my mind is at least 80 or 90 yards worth. Like, mm, EJ, my man, you do as much for this team as anybody else in my mind. So I'm sure that message is being sent. I'm sure he understands that. Ruben Owens, though, 102 yards, 7.8 yards per carry, which is massive. 2 TDs, and I really like the one at the end there, going out wide on that. He's got a little more speed than maybe Moss has. We've been reining him inside the tackles for probably 60% of the time. It feels like getting stuffed at least some of the time. And here we go outside, nice little wrinkle, puts it in the end zone for a touchdown. So big game from him. Nice added yards from Morrow. Marcel Reed added a few more. We got the Mario Cravers and the KCs that we are also putting in there. So our running game is dynamic. That makes me feel good. Let's have another 9-0. Did I mention how good 9-0 tastes? It tastes real good. I love the way 9-0 tastes. Come on. All right. Receiving. KC, 84 yards, a TD. Craver, some big yards. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm not sure if he came back in after much in the second half. Gonna have to check on that one, see the press conference, see how he's doing. I think he did come up with a bit of a hit. It might have held him out. So big yards from these guys. 21-yard average from KC. That's an elite number. It is. It's an elite number. This team, total yards, just shy of 500, 464 to Mizzou's 284. We got 221 through the air total to their 77. So, I mean, game plan was to keep Zollers from beating us. I mean, not beating us. You wanted to keep the ball in front of you. You don't want to let him have anything that he wasn't probably going to normally get. We knew they'd go against the run. We gave up 200 yards in the ground. We're going to get hammered for that, y'all. Probably rightfully so. Hopefully, it turns into bulletin board material. We're going to have to be better stopping the run. And that's all. I mean, that's all there is to it. The one redeeming piece is that typically what we're doing is we're keeping the ball out of the red zone. But when they get into the red zone, like we said in the preview, we're letting touchdowns happen. Scores like 90+%, touchdowns 66-ish% of the time. So not great when we get into those kinds of situations. This is probably one of our worst nights on third down. I was kind of impressed with Mizzou. That defensive line was it. But you think about that. We had the one, um, fumble, I guess, by Samford, knocks it out of Zoller's hands. We return it down to like the 2. Um, we get that short yardage there, but we still put up 38 points. Erase that one. Let's make it 31. And this is like a top 5 defense, and we still managed 31 points on them. That's a lot. That's a lot. If we're going to be able to put up 31 points consistently on top 10 defenses, this team's this team can go a long way. And I know the defense. We feel like it's got everybody wants to look at that rushing yards allowed and be like, man, that's gonna kill us. It hurts, but we can definitely survive putting up the numbers that we're putting up. Keep in mind, we've not been in this particular place before. I mean, we have. It's just who knows when it was. Whenever our offense was the team, the unit that was like, hey, they're going to go win us the game, and if we can get the defense to do enough, then we'll win. Right? Used to it was before it was like, man, the defense is so good. If we can just get the offense to do enough, then we'll win the game. So completely reversed. I don't even know what to do with myself at this point. So odd. I don't know. It's like I'm at a socially awkward at a party. I don't know how to act in these kinds of situations. So, um, 2 turnovers really helped out. We gave up one ourselves. Not great, but we dominated time of possession with 35 minutes. It's huge. It's huge. Teams just finding a way to win. Remember the quote I gave you about R.C. Slocum a couple weeks ago? Good teams find a way. That's what they do. And this is a good team. It might be a great team. It might be a great team. A couple other things I want to mention. Let's get over on the defensive side of things, y'all. Marcus Ratcliffe led the team in tackles, him and Dalton Brooks. You got to love the game that you got from Dalton Brooks, man. That fake field goal, fake punt. The memes out there about Elko and what his fortitude is at this point is just prime social media. I mean, that was a big call. Big call. I can't remember the last time I've seen a fake punt. It doesn't happen, right? So big game. Thought Des Ricks played a pretty good game. Will Lee played a pretty good game. I thought they were definitely going to go at us because they were probably going to get some one-on-ones with us loading the box. And they did, and we played pretty physical, got away with some things just right. They have really been coached well to use those hands. Just the quickest little grab, slow the receiver down, keep from getting the holding call. We played on the edge a little bit. Still got to clean up a few other penalties. We're definitely extending some drives from time to time, and we don't want that. But they're playing on the edge here, and that's going to be somewhat expected as well. In the intermediate time, they're getting good results with this. So excellent. 2 sacks on the night. One from Sanford and one from Howell. You knew Howell's got to get his. So we're going to be now back up to 34 sacks and tied for, I don't know, maybe first. I mean, I had to point out to some people that, hey, if you've got 34 sacks and they know who they are, it kind of helps if you're looking at this from a totals standpoint to keep in mind that not all teams have played 9 games. And so average sacks per game might be a little bit more accurate. But now that we're all kind of back up to that 9-game situation, we're at 34 since we got 2 more and we were at 32 previously. So we'll see how things wash out. But our average was 4 sacks per game. Thought Missouri's offensive line did pretty good job overall. It really helped that Ahmad Hardy was such a good runner. They had two 100-yard rushers this game. We've talked about that. We've talked about that. That's something that this team's, I bet, it's going to get challenged with. And we'll see if we don't get this cleaned up a little bit more. Maybe running some different schemes, perhaps. But hey, 200 yards on the ground and only 77 yards through the air. It's pretty tough. I mean, you're not going to score a lot with only 77 yards through the air. I mean, look, we're giving up 10. I mean, their average was what? Let me see. Average rushing yards per attempt for them was 6.1 yards. Okay. So they're giving up 6.1 yards. This defense is 6.1, 6.1, 6.1. All right. Well, I mean, you're going to need about 15 of those to get all the way down the field. You are. You're going to need it. Yeah, it's 12, 13, 14 of those just to get all the way down the field. So they did that twice. So that's 14 points. And then 77 yards through the air. Of course, not everything's going to work out perfectly, but if you just gave them one more trip down the field with the 77 yards, okay, great. You've got 3 scores. Well, lo and behold, they got 17 points and just didn't convert one of them to a touchdown. So giving up this many yards on the ground may not be the worst thing ever. We've done it quite a bit. We're winning. We're not giving up a whole lot of points, right? So maybe we should pump the brakes on that. Maybe the experts aren't quite right. Let's not say that. We don't want to challenge the experts, though. So, anyways, big night. Big night, I think, from this offense. Just, again, finding a way. Finding a way. We will probably do well to get Moss back. I'm looking forward to that as well. But other than that, I think that's it, y'all. This team's 9-0. Enjoy it. Let's go get another one next week. It's time to reload. We got to get one back from South Carolina. I'll be at the game. It's last big home game of the year. We still have Samford coming in, but hey, man, it's the last one. Soak it up. Enjoy it, y'all. I don't know. Here, last one, and then we'll have a good night. All right, one more. 9-0. Thanks to Gig'em, y'all.